Hello, Arthur Link here for another tarot video. I wish I had started recording before I drew this, but this card is very fitting. I figured that I'm going to do a series of videos covering some cards, just one or two at a time, to get you to have a deeper understanding of different decks, different perspectives for the Major Arcana. And this card is from the Celtic Wildwood deck, which also organizes the cards around the wheel of the year. I can actually show that to you, just the visual will be better off. And this card fittingly comes at a time of Halloween, or Samhain as they call it in this tradition. So see, there's inner and outer life. So these archetypes deeper down: world tree, seer, wanderer, shaman. And we're coming here during this time. We're over here on November 1st. So this deck, this card, the 13th in the Major Arcana, is normally called Death. I like in this deck how it's called the Journey, because this deck really wants us to get away from the fear of death that we have in Western culture. It's about, even though it's a very intense card, right? There's a raven plucking the dead skull clean. The raven's also a guardian that's helping oversee the process of the purification that death offers. It's an extreme cleansing energy. So sometimes people will get this in a reading and they'll be like, uh-oh, what's going to happen to me? Whereas it can just signify the intense letting go during this time of the year that is available. The thinning of the veils around Halloween, which allow us to communicate with spirits of the dead more easily in the traditional sense. And this was often seen as a fortunate time because the spirits of the dead ghosts were not to be feared. They were our ancestors that have gone before us, and they have their own wisdom. Unfortunately now, they've been neglected a little bit because of the fear, so they don't always have the protective qualities they once did, and they need to be worked with and honored so that they can fully release through the death process. So this card has many different layers of meanings, as all the Major Arcana will, but on the Wheel of the Year I just want to re-emphasize that it falls on Halloween and that transition, and that it can always signify the death that comes after an intense reflective period, in that, oh wow, now I see what I need to let go of. I need to put things to rest. I need to let go of these things I've been holding on to so tightly, and really honor that passage and transition. So that's going to be the first card. I have this deck already at, so we'll see what comes up in conjunction with this, and learn a little bit more about the card, as well as get a little mini reading, because if you connect death, depending on what other card comes up, you'll have a different perspective on it. So I got the Past Lives card. Now in this deck, the Zen deck, designed after Osho, the Major Arcana are all very different. Normally the 18th card is the Moon. And fittingly, the moon reflects an awareness of the spirit world that we normally don't have access to in day-to-day consciousness. That's why once you alter your state based on moonbeams, you can start to think and see past the veil. This is the veil here. So now we have death and past lives are a very fitting combination, right? So here are us in waking life, and then once you squeeze through this little passage or transition of journey, you have access to all the other lives that have taken place, everything that has gone before. But this is all part of one picture. So there's nothing to be afraid of if you're on one side or the other, and you can work with beings that are on the other side of the veil without fear, and you can acknowledge your own timeless experience of consciousness, that perhaps if I begin to access past lives and work with that sort of energy, that I have been more than just this one little life, and that there is more to me than I previously thought of. And there's a lot of probably free past life regression work available on YouTube if you search that and you look for a way to kind of get into an altered state and start to access other parts of your life if that's where you're at with your meditative experience. So that's going to be the Halloween reading / information session on 2 tarot cards. And I'll see you guys again in another video to draw some more. Thank you.